Hello and welcome to another episode of Alpha Audio. Today we're going to talk about, well, resonance absorbers. Cool. No, it's pretty nerdy, I admit, but let's check it out. We don't really often talk about tweaks at Alpha Audio, and well, the reason for that is that there are loads of tweaks, and well, how it works really differs per system, and well, it has to be your taste, of course. But we do write about network tweaks. That's because I personally like them, and well, it's one of my specialties, so that's why actually. And we recently did a live stream about speaker decoupling, and it was pretty popular. We got loads of questions and comments on the video and on our website, and that's why I decided that I wanted to know more about it. AAI is the brand that we're gonna talk about today, and it's relatively new. At least, well, I didn't know it, but it's a brand from Slovakia, and they create cables, resonance pucks, and some power products, and they're all really well machined. I mean, the AAI pucks are really well made. First impression is really good, and their cables are, well, not cheap. They're way up there, and we already wrote about a cable made by AAI. It was a speaker cable. But today we're going to talk about their anti-resonance pucks. It's not a resonance puck, of course. I mean, this doesn't resonate. It should actually absorb resonances. There are 5 flavors from which you can choose. This is the Mini, and we use it with our Mutec MC3 Plus reclocker, and it does a great job. It was after the review we did about these and their cables that I decided I wanted to leave them under our Mutec reclocker, because it actually cleans up the image, it's tighter, it's better defined in the bass area, mostly, and I just like the sound with these pucks. If I remove them, it sounds different, and I think with them is better. But the Mini is just the starting point. I mean, you also have the Midi, which is of course a little bit bigger, and it can carry more weight. I mean, the Mini can handle, I have to peak a little bit. The Mini can handle 70 kilograms. This one can handle 150 kilograms. Then there's also the Maxi and Maxi Plus, which are of course even bigger. This is the Maxi with a thread. Hey, the Midi and Mini don't have that. You can screw these in order to keep them attached to the device, mostly a loudspeaker, I think. These can handle 220 kilograms. Then there's the Maxi Plus, which can handle 450 kilograms. But it doesn't stop there. We have the new Ultra. It's not even specified on their website. I think it could handle more than 500 kilograms if you look at the size difference. I mean, this is the Maxi, this is the Ultra, and it's even bigger, and these also have a thread. It's M8, but I'm sure there are M8 thread screws to M6 or M10 or whatever you need in order to screw in the puck into the device or loudspeaker, for that matter. Now, bigger isn't always better, of course. I noticed that we already sampled these pucks, the Midi and the Ultra, with our TAD loudspeakers, and we compared it to the stock spikes with the Blue Horizon discs. The Blue Horizon disc is already a tweak. It sounds better with the Blue Horizon discs than with the stock discs, which TAD delivers with the loudspeaker. The difference is that the bass is better defined, and it goes a little bit deeper for my feeling. I'm not sure if it's measurable, but I feel like the bass is going deeper with the Blue Horizon discs. Now, with the Midis, the bass response is also a little bit different, and with the Ultra, it's again a little bit different. Is it better? Well, I think it's mostly a matter of taste, but be careful with buying just the biggest anti-resonance puck, because the The Ultra won't work with the Mutec, for example. The device is way too light in order to work well with such a large puck. A pause-lapse amp is a whole different story because that thing weighs 45 kilograms. So the weight on top of the puck is big enough in order to couple well with the puck in order to get some energy inside, which should dissipate. Because how these things work is, well, it's not easy, but I can make it a little bit easier for you to understand. The way these work is that the device will sit on top, like, I don't know, like this is the device. It sits on top, and this bottom half is loose, but it is stuck inside the housing, of course. Now, between this loose part and the housing on which the device is sitting, must be some material that absorbs the energy that goes inside and dissipates it into heat. It has to be transferred, the energy. The energy has to go somewhere. So resonances can be transferred into heat or into motion or into anything. But in this case, it absorbs the energy and it dissipates the energy in the form of heat. Well, the only thing that I don't like about AAI is that they don't explain anything about how these work. Well, it's basic physics, but for example, isoacoustics explains a little bit in how they work with the special formula of rubbers they use. Blue Horizon explains a little bit about the ceramic balls and the different materials they use to absorb a broad spectrum of energy. And even Prime Acoustic explains a little bit about how they work. So I want to know what's inside. Of course, they don't go into detail, and I accept that they don't do that because it's their formula, it's their product they're talking about. You don't give away all your secrets, but explain a little bit about how this works, because now it's just a black box and people don't like black boxes. I don't like black boxes. And if you can't explain your product, there's something wrong with your product, because everything should be explainable. Fact is, they do work. I tested the Maxi. No. I tested the Midi and the Ultra with our TADs, and it's a clear difference in sound. For me, if you're in the room, you feel it better because the stereo imaging and everything is there. It's not really in the samples, but in the samples you can hear a difference in bass response and in overall calmness. I think there is just more control. And that's exactly what these pucks do. And they do the same with your devices, because a transformer hum has to go somewhere, the resonances. And if resonances get into your device, it will be transferred into energy, and the energy will mix with the music, and you'll get some, restlessness, so to say. I think the biggest impact is on the loudspeakers, because it's a mechanical device and you don't want any smearing. That's where they work best for my taste. But with the clock, it was surprising how much difference it made. I was surprised. I didn't believe anything. I know the moment that I said, you should use them with the DAC, because with a small device like a reclocker, it wouldn't do anything. I was so wrong in that case. I still remember that. The pricing of these things they're not cheap. Let's start with saying that. But they do work. And it's up to you to invest in tweaks like this. If your system is finished, you want that dot on the I, try these. But the Mini, per 4 pucks, 4 of them, are €383 in the Netherlands. The Midis are €726 per 4. Then there's the Maxi and the Maxi Plus. They're both €1,089. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's what the website of the distributor said. Then there's the Ultra, per 4, €1,400. So if you have 2 loudspeakers and you need 4 of them per loudspeaker, it will set you back €2,800. And that's a lot of money. But bear in mind that you don't use the ultras with a small floor standing loudspeaker or a small bookshelf speaker with a stand mount. That's just ridiculous. You need to pair these with a big loudspeaker. You need to have balance. So first try them. Are you happy with it? And try a few of them. I mean, the Ultra is not always the right choice. Like I said, it has to be in balance with the weight of the loudspeaker or the amplifier or anything. And you can also buy them per 3. And it will, 25% off, I think. We'll make a full written review pretty soon. I'm still testing some stuff with amplifiers and sources and stuff like that to get a full picture of these new AAI pucks or pads, that's what they call them. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.